How's it going, everyone? Scott here again. Today we're going to go through what it takes to try and keep my 7M cool. So this is the pump I got. There's a part number on the side. There you go. So 150 series, so it's the biggest one they do. Got it with the controller because my old G4 Storm is out of inputs and outputs and such, so I'm going to use this to run this. Maybe the fans as well, I'm not sure. But it's recommended install is just attaching it in line and not necessarily mounting it, just having the hoses holding it. But it's decently weighty, so I'll see what it's actually like. I might have to make a bracket. That's the lower red hose. Fortunately, space is going to be pretty tight, making sure that it doesn't rub or touch the power steering pump pulley, but probably still just going to jack it up and have a little bit of muck around, see how I can get that guy to fit in. Basically, that's the in, that's the out, pretty much have it go straight on there and straight up. Now, obviously over there further, as I thought, pretty tight with this, but I do think when it's over here, should be able to tuck it out of the way and hopefully fit everything in. As I said, I wasn't actually planning on installing this, but now I'm really tempted to. That's while the old coolant's draining out, because I'm definitely not installing this today. Might as well muck around with the wiring. That's for the water temp sensor and the pump. So I'll just run those through the firewall. I have all this in the cabin for the controller. So I've run the wiring through the firewall. Obviously just got to close up that gap there. Just taped the bulk of it to the shifter to make sure that it didn't pull for too much through, so I can still put the controller where I want it. Right. Lower hose and everything is off. Tried this on the ground and seeing, hoping it's in the right spot again, but fitment doesn't look like it's going to be too bad actually. Just there. I am still dubious about all the weight of this being on the hose. There's only one way to find out anyway. I'll just quickly route it and see how I feel about it. I've got it just sat there at the moment. Obviously no top hose, and actually it's not too bad. The top hose is on there. It'll probably sit quite nicely. Allow itself to wiggle around a little bit, but my only other real concern is the height off the ground. Obviously the car's quite low. I mean, that's definitely not the lowest point. The tow hooks are lower and subframe's lower, so hopefully I don't whack it on anything. This is all clamped up now and it's home. Only thing I did is put a cable tie to the body. It's not super tight or anything. It's just so that to limit the movement, because if it really got knocked about, it could touch that. Now it can't, so that's all good. The only other real concerns are still the height at which it's mounted. I think it should be okay. The only other thing I've got to do before I finish the wiring is it's a plug for the temp sensor provided. Comes with one of these. You're supposed to put in line, but I got a really short top radiator hose. So the other thing is, if you're following this to put one on a Mark III Supra, you'll be aware that that's not a Mark III radiator. It's for a CA18 Det S13, I believe. No real reason other than the fact that it was cheap for a Koyo rad, so I kind of jumped on that. Anyway, I'll suss out this temp sensor. I might put it in one of these instead. Fill her up, see if she leaks. Got to remember to remove the thermostat as well, because it's all done through the pump. So one sort of quite major part that I sort of skipped over, because I was only supposed to be test fitting, is got to remove the old water pump. Now in the instructions it says you can do one of a few things. One is just run a shorter belt and just leave it sitting there. But with my trigger wheel setup I can't do that, so that's why I'm going to go on to option number 2, which is cut off all the blades. So it's just sitting there as an idler pulley for the belt, so I still use the standard belt that I was using. Alright, I'll cut the old wheels off, blades off the water pump, so that's just an idler now. Gonna have to leave it at that for now. Might do some more work on it tonight. Probably not, probably get home quite late. At least all that's the noisy stuff done, so I can work at night if I want to. Alright, well I didn't film anymore because I just did it late at night. I just had to smash it out. So the controller is in. This is all back together. Just about to prime it and check for any leaks. So you can possibly hear the pump starting up now. It does that just on startup and just pulses every now and then. That's a little emergency light which is temporarily just taped up there for now. So to prime it, hold this for 5 seconds. So now it's in prime mode. Oh. It's theoretically all bled, so just gonna take a wee drive around the block and just check, make sure the fans and everything come on. They're still controlled by the ECU, the fans are. I'll probably switch it over to the Davies Craig. Not sure. But for now I'm just going to leave it as is, connected to the ECU for the fans and Davies Craig for the water pump. So just going to set a temperature on the Davies Craig. Tap to scroll through. Don't know where I'm going to want it at, to be honest. Give me a bit of mucking around. We'll try 82. Setting temperature. Cool. So that's going to be target temp for the pump. So I can see the water pump is starting to cycle now. Interesting to see where it sits at, because at the moment I think my fans are set to come on about 88. We just hit target temp of the water pump. Let's see what it holds to. Our fans came on for just a second and pretty quickly dropped down to 82. She's definitely leaking. Obviously one pretty cool feature about this is just shut the car off. Hopefully here the old pump is still going, flowing coolant through the rad and the motor, because if it needed to the fans would go on too, because I have just left it on. But yeah, very nice to keep it cooling down while the engine is off. But yeah, I've got a pretty decent leak. I'm guessing it's from, yeah, I got fans just come on, we're on that. Found the leak, it's coming from the coolant temp sensor. I do vaguely remember seeing an O-ring, which I didn't use, which is, yeah, probably for that. But it's pretty hot now, so I'm gonna bugger off, do something else, leave it cool down, deal with that later. But other than that, pretty happy. Pretty easy install, and just get to see how it handles abuse at the track. Well, that was the install for the electric water pump. Did it fix all my problems? No, not really. It was quite good at managing to keep it cool whilst waiting for my turn, stationary on the side of the track, but it wasn't like the magic bullet to fix all my coolant issues. I did do a bit more after that, but if you want to see that, you'll have to click subscribe and wait for the next video. Thanks for watching.